All I can say is what the f. Hello, you mucker. It's a windy day, so I don't know whether you can hear me. I'm going to do my best. The reason I've come up here is because I watched Coincidental Life's video from 10 days ago, talking about this area of Berwick Basset and Winterbourne Basset near Avebury, and down near his feet in nearly every shot was an upright stone about knee height, one after another, probably indicating a set of boundary stones that's no longer on a boundary. Now, thank you to Coincidental Life for spotting these. So I got in the car and I thought I'd come down and have a look. And we're going to do some citizen science. I've got my notebook, a pen and an even pace. We're going to see what we can learn from this line of stones, which I've never seen before. But first we need to do a little bit of context. Along there is the Ridgeway. There is Windmill Hill, which is a Neolithic causewayed enclosure with Bronze Age burials on top. Those are the humps. Behind it is the Wansdyke up on the hill. And then going along here we have Oldbury, which I make the case that is in fact Yatesbury, and a Bronze Age just beyond the brow of that hill, a Bronze Age causeway or ditch or dike or whatever, and it all fits together. And along that ridge, which is Beckhampton is at the bottom of it, and so that ridge is the back of Beckhampton. There are Bronze Age barrows as well. So that's part of the context of this land. The weather is posing some problems. It's been very wet, and it's going to be wet for a couple more days. And it pissed down yesterday, so I'm out with the minimum of equipment. Well, I'm certainly not going to have high hopes for what I can achieve today, but I'm going out with my GoPro. I've got my camera as well, but I'm not going to faff around today, so I'm just going to have a look, and this is going to be like a little sort of diary exercise. See what I can see about those stones. Coincidental Life waxes lyrical about the ash dieback and the loss of the ashes. I've seen some beautiful, large and healthy ones, and then even just down the road here, and then sort of 100 yards away, a dead one or a dying one. And I feel it too. I'm envious that he knows he can recognise the elm or even find them. I didn't know there were any. It just goes to show there's always something to learn. And it's the ash is pretty much 90% of them are going to die and 10% are going to survive. And this is a landscape of oak and ash. It's what England was for tens of thousands of years. We've got our beautiful flower field, as Coincidental Life pointed out. It is a stunner. Now we're not too far from those stones. There's no stone road here. There's a tiny little one next to the entrance to the field, but not what I wanted to record, which is interspersed across the field. So no citizen science this episode, but it's not about destination, it's about the journey. So in the grand tradition of allotment fox videos, I'm going to go in search of some deer or some dicky birds or wildflowers, and hopefully that'll give you something to look at. I'll show you the stones anyway. I mean, they are good looking Saxon stones, but it's not what I would call a road. Never mind. I haven't described where I am, because in England you're always in a village, always in a parish. That's the basic sort of unit of the landscape. So I'm in Berwick Bassett, and in the 1770s it was called Barwick. Thank you to Beaten Track for his link to the map of 1773. And that's a logical progression from Berwick, which is Old English or early Middle English, and it basically, transliterated, it basically means beer colony, but obviously that doesn't explain it very well. It's barley and beer are the same thing in Old English. So barley means beer field. And it shows you what use barley was put to. Well, of course it made bread, but it made something more important than bread, and that's beer. And so we've got the wick tells us that it is an offshoot of a village, that it was once part of another village, probably the other Bassett, Winterbourne Bassett, and then broke off, because wick sort of means an offshoot or colony. It normally means a dairy farm, but doesn't always, and in this case the name gives us a clue to the specialism, which is barley. And another name for this sort of offshoot is Barton. You'll see Barton everywhere, and that means farm of barley or farm of beer making. But anyway, let's see if we can find that path that Coincidental Life was using. I should have bought my bill hook, which is or at least a pair of secateurs. This is going to be uncomfortable. It looked uncomfortable for Coincidental Life. I'm only coming this way because there's a wood I want to go and have a look at. My chances of finding hare and deer increase rapidly with a nice bit of wood with settlements far away from them. So That field I've just left, there were little furry little animals in there. I occasionally saw a foot or any a rapidly fleeing backside hiding behind grass and so on. And there was something in there, I don't know whether it's hare or rabbits or... We're entering Avebury now, and you might be able to see a hill fort over there, and that is next to the gate, which is in Old English yet means gate or gap, and you've got a gap in the escarpment. This whole land is a plateau, and you have to ascend hills to get here from any direction. And in some places you have to ascend 2 hills and then go down another hill. But so the gap is in between, is a valley, a coombe that comes up the escarpment, and that is where the road goes along. The road goes to the side of it today, but it would have been, that is the gate that Avebury is recording. And we're in the Avebury parish now. Now Avebury today doesn't include that hill fort, but and other people have made the argument that hill fort is Avebury. It is the castle, the fortification of the gap. And today it's called Oldbury, but I think its real name, its anglo-saxon name is Avebury. We've got a monolith standing in the middle of this field. What? I have to find out. What is the monolith doing in the middle of this field? I've never heard of it before. I'm very, very curious. All I can say is, what the fuck? Honestly, this is a monolith. I thought it had to be some sort of like memorial to some upper class airman that crashed here or something like that. You do find them, but there's no sign of a memorial. It takes effort to put these things up here. What would it take? 6 or 7 men with levers, really strong levers. About a third to a quarter of it must be underground to make sure it stays up. What the fuck is it doing here? You know, why is there's been so much discussion of antiquities around Avebury. We're about 2 miles from Avebury. We're not on the avenues, the Beckhampton Avenue or the other avenue. I'm just astonished, you know, and I'm a Wessex man, I should know about this. What a weird thing. I'm not saying I discovered this, right? The guy, you know, if anything, the guy that mowed this field, you know, it's been here, you know, other people must have seen it. It's on a footpath. Why have I read nothing about it? I'm just, I don't know what to say. I'm just, so, what, okay. Analysis, where are we? We're on the crest of a hill that slopes down this way. And this here is the edge where it flattens out at the top. Okay, so context, that's some context. It is, the long alignment is probably I guess east-west, and it does point towards Avebury-ish. I'd have to look on a map. How beautiful. If you like this one, please watch this one next, and please subscribe, comment, particularly like comments, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Ta-ra for now.